Moraida is co-founder of Hijas del Campo in Contra Costa County. She says many of their Spanish-speaking clients didn't know their CalFresh SNAP benefits would be suspended this month with the government shutdown.
There is a language barrier. A lot of times people are not informed about what's going to happen. You know, a lot of times this via an email. Some clients do not have access to email.
Inez, who didn't want to be identified, is a farm worker and working mom who says she usually gets $270 a month for her family. But on November 1st, she faced a difficult decision.
La renta o la comida?
Pay the rent or buy food. And for some in mixed status families, fear of immigration raids is also a factor.
Our community members are afraid to go out and receive services or to even go to the grocery store.
A stressful time, especially for children.
Mi hija dice que
She says that there's many days where her daughter feels depressed and anxious leaving to go to school where she doesn't know what she's going to return to.
Hijas del Campo is trying to help. We followed volunteers Wednesday as they made deliveries, taking hot meals, bags of food, and information in Spanish directly to Bay Area farm workers out in the field. And there, rooted in the land where Americans get our food, is the irony of our nation's food economy coming full circle.
A lot of the times the food that we are distributing is food that was picked by the farm workers themselves. So there's a huge irony that the people who are picking our food and are ensuring that we have food on our tables have a hard time securing food for their own families.
This organization and others say they hope the community will help support them as they try to support those here who are so in need. Reporting from Brentwood, Jana Katsuyama, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
And the pause in CalFresh benefits meant a longer line at a weekly food distribution event on the peninsula. More people lined up today than usual to receive food assistance from the nonprofit Daly City Partnership. Organizers say their food distribution is more of a lifeline than ever for families right now, and that the shutdown is prompting new groups of residents to seek support.
A lot of the new clients that we're seeing are younger. We're seeing a lot of students. We're seeing a lot of students from San Francisco State, Skyline colleges, and community colleges. We're also seeing a lot of working families that are having a hard time making ends meet with their benefits being cut.
The nonprofit's Mike Stansel there also saying with the greater demand, the nonprofit is concerned about its food resources for the weekly distribution. Just a reminder here, KTVU has compiled a list of resources with information on Bay Area food banks, free meals, and other types of support. You can get there in the QR code right there on your screen, or you can also head off to ktvu.fox/snap.
And coming up at 11, the government shutdown taking its toll on Veterans Day traditions. The Bay Area community is being forced to make some changes to one of its decade-old traditions.
And in weather, we still have some lingering clouds out there. Even if
that's hella hard, man. Is you hearing that?
Some gray, but partly cloudy skies later today. Looks like a chance to get outside this weekend, and we'll have the update coming up after the break.
Also, a car burst into flames in a New York City neighborhood. The latest on the explosion that sent several firefighters to the hospital.
Are you guys ready for the Battle of the State to begin? 50 chefs, 50 times the pressure. Get out. Hell's Kitchen, Thursdays at 8 on KTVU Fox 2.
We're close to deadline, and I need a reliable connection to upload files. So I use AT&T Business Internet. Press proof coming in hot.
That looks great.
Okay, wait. Who's gray-eyed? Greg, actually.
I think it's Greg.
Greg? It's supposed to be Craig. Sure. Okay, let's just re-upload the file. You know, C's and G's are confused a lot more than you think. We got great internet.
What if I told you there was a magical place? An extraordinary place. A place where your imagination can go wild. A place to dream in. Discover it. Play
I don't need to grab the wig.
belong in.
That's too good.
There is a place where anything is possible. If you believe.
Good. You need your charger. You need your charger.
Lease a new 2025 Audi A5 Premium for $499 during the season of Audi.
Thinking of updating my kitchen.
Yeah? Yes.
This year, we are finally updating our kitchen in subway tile and an ivory or eggshell cream. Maybe. Don't get me started on quartz. Big island. Waterfall.
For everyone who talks about doing that thing, but never does that thing,
Sweet little breakfast nook.
Chase has financial guidance.
See how you can start saving to make this happen. Really?
Really?
Really.
At home or in person.
You could also check out a Chase Money Skills book.
That's guidance from Chase. Make more of what's yours. New at 10, 7 New York firefighters are recovering tonight after they were injured in a car explosion in the Bronx. Footage from the ground capturing how high the flames from that explosion shot in the air. Fire officials say this started as a garbage fire around 7 p.m. New York time, but it spread to several parked cars. The firefighters suffered burns to their hands and faces. 3 were admitted to a nearby hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
And tonight we do have an update on the deadly UPS cargo plane crash in Louisville, Kentucky. The death toll has now increased to 12 people. The NTSB says after the plane was cleared to take off, its left wing caught fire. As the plane lifted, the engine fell off. Tonight, it's not clear how that fire started. The plane was loaded with 38,000 gallons of fuel when it crashed. The explosion took out several nearby buildings and businesses, setting off a chain of blasts at a petroleum recycling plant, but the plane missed a nearby Ford factory and convention center.
It is a miracle that it wasn't worse. They responded and put that fire out by midnight, and that's incredible.
Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear says an emergency fund usually used for natural disasters to help cover funeral expenses for the victims.
Tonight, the Philippine president declared a state of emergency after a typhoon that killed at least 114 people. That declaration by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. will allow the swift release of emergency funds. At least 127 people are missing in flash floods and mudslides in the country's central province. Over 500,000 people have been displaced. The same area in the Philippines is still recovering from a deadly 6.9 magnitude earthquake on September 30th. And next at 10, why some Starbucks workers are ready to walk off the job during one of the busiest times of the year.
And going all in on AI. How San Jose city leaders want the tech to benefit more than just Silicon Valley giants.
But first, a live look outside. Chief meteorologist Mark Tamayo will have the complete Bay Area forecast.
Coming soon, Echo, the new high-flying adventure by Cirque du Soleil, opens November 20th under the Big Top at Oracle Park. Tickets on sale now at cirquedusoleil.com.
Get a different 6-inch sub every day of the week for just $4.99 each with the sub of the day at Subway. Like meatball marinara on Wednesday or the BMT on Saturday. Different day, different sub, one great deal. Get your $4.99 sub of the day today.
Thank you. My son's already in the car. Bye.
You want some of that flavor, some shit I got? That we smoked last time? Came up so we can bust open the door.
The magic of your Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity.
Run this stiff. This is what we're
The
gonna
best
be in
place for
tonight.
Black Friday deals is Mancini Sleep World. Get 14 days of deals and take advantage of special doorbusters every day, plus 0% financing for 60 months. Only at
Rest easy. We know Californians value accuracy over speed, and accuracy takes time. Over the next few weeks, highly trained and dedicated election workers throughout the state will verify and cross-check millions of votes and conduct audits to confirm election results. We thank you for your patience as we focus on accuracy over speed to secure the integrity of the November 4th special election. A message from the California Secretary of State.
You have the power to keep playing when you stay with KTVU for the Toyota Point After. After 49ers games, only on Fox 2.
Yeah, it's hard, boy. That shit bounced all the way across the room.
San Francisco 49ers.
I gotta see where it went. I heard it hit the floor.
What if I told you?
I didn't see it though.
An extraordinary
Horrible.
place. A A place where your imagination can go wild. A place to dream in, discover in, play in, belong in. There is a place where anything is possible. If you believe.
KTVU News brought to you by Mancini Sleep World. Mancini's Rest Easy.
Tonight, Fairfield firefighters are in mourning after one of their own lost his life to occupational cancer. Chris Bell began his journey at the Fairfield Fire Department in 2003 as a reserve firefighter. He worked his way up to fire engineer in 2013 and continued in that role until he retired in 2024. Occupational cancer is directly linked to the smoke, toxic chemicals, and carcinogens firefighters are exposed to while protecting their communities. Chris Bell was 41 years old.
Tonight, there is new evidence of the health risk associated with wildfire smoke for pregnant women. Researchers from the University of Washington looked at data from more than 20,000 births in the U.S. between 2006 and 2020. Now, they analyzed pregnant women's exposure to wildfire-related fine particle pollution. They determined that the risk of preterm birth was higher when the mother was exposed in the second trimester. Researchers found the strongest link was in the western half of the U.S., where wildfire smoke has been more prevalent.
Well, today's storm brought some snow to the Sierra. I'd like to see that. This is a video from the UC Berkeley Central Sierra Snow Lab
This
in
might
Silver
be too
Springs.
fat.
Now, the lab says most of today's
Pull over, that ass is too fat. Woo,
much
woo.
accumulation. Chief meteorologist
What you
Mark
coming
Cloud
over here
joins
for,
us
girl?
once again. Maybe not
What
much,
is you
but
coming over here for? What's happening? A new guy up in here. New guy, what's up with it? I got my spiritual animal behind. I clear it off. There you go. Get to your spot. Get in your spot. She's trying to get in there. You smoke too much. Slow down. You smoke too much. Slow down.
And now we're looking long range into next week, as you can see here, and you can see what happens by, let's see, into Tuesday and Wednesday. There's that circulation offshore, and this could be one of the main components that could bring rain back to the Bay Area. So we'll keep an eye on that as
bring
we
it
head
back
into
to the
next
Bay
week.
Area.
For tonight, though, still some
More
cloud
rain
cover,
back to the Bay Area.
Tomorrow, still a lot of
We
moisture
like
out there.
that.
There's some fog in the morning.
You ain't trying to burn
In
up.
the afternoon hours. The weekend, we'll have a sun-cloud mix. Here's a look at the radar this
trying to
evening.
burn
We still
up.
have some rain showers out there. The bulk of the action has kind of moved on out to the east, but we still have a little bit of activity showing up on the Bay Area radar for
Great
tonight.
host,
Some action
forgive me
is
for
to
the
south
late
of Napa.
post. I
There's still
don't
lots of
hate
clouds in
most.
place. And if you're not covered, you can still have some mist or drizzle enough to maybe wet the roadways
Golden
out
Gate,
there.
my
And
state
here's some of the coverage
ghost.
right now, closer to the coastline for tonight. So no major rainfall, but still a lot of moisture.
When the
Hold
last
on to the shower chance for the next few hours.
ate
And
coast.
all that moisture will turn into some
That
fog
shit
first
was
thing
hot.
tomorrow morning. Current numbers out there: Santa Rosa 58, Concord 59, San Jose
Great host,
60
forgive me
degrees.
for the
We actually had a
late
super
post.
moon
I
this
don't
morning,
hate
the official full moon,
most.
but you could not see it. Public
Great
cloud cover out there.
host, forgive me for the
Have a chance to
late
get outside.
post. I don't
Break
hate
breaks the
most.
cloud cover. Maybe just take a peek for tonight and into tomorrow morning. It's going to be low on the horizon, but the biggest challenge will be some cloud cover out there. Clouds and
I
fog
love that
first thing tomorrow
song, man.
morning.
I love that
Temperatures
song.
will be in the 50s to start
I'm
things off.
about to
Now,
bump
if you are heading to the coast, we have this. Another beach hazards alert in place for you Thursday. Swell will be building throughout the day. Waves could be right around 12 to 20 feet. So just be extra careful with all that energy near the coastline. And something else we have to consider is the king tides. There's going to be a lot of run up near the coastline when you factor in that swell and also these inflated water levels. So definitely keep an eye on the coast. And also right around the bay, we have the king tides in place tomorrow morning, just before 11 o'clock. 7 feet at the Golden Gate Bridge. And it's that advisory remains in place for the weekend. They have a coastal flood advisory. So here's today's system. Moving on out. Now we have a little thing upstream in the flow here. That could send in some more clouds by Thursday evening, Thursday night, and maybe a few showers, especially across the North Bay. So tomorrow, becoming partly cloudy. You can see what happens later in the day on Thursday night and into early Friday morning. The chance of a few sprinkles or a light shower, but not a big deal when the skies stay partly cloudy. The weekend, it should be fairly nice around here with the sun and cloud mix. Highs for tomorrow moving to 60s. Warmest locations right around 70 degrees. And here's a look ahead. We'll start off your Friday. Some drizzle out there, maybe a sprinkle. Clearing skies into the weekend. Partly cloudy skies on Sunday. More clouds by Monday, and then beyond Monday, we'll see if that storm door can open that.
company's biggest days of the year unless they get a new contract. The strike would fall on November 13th, Starbucks Red Cup Day, which is when reusable cups are given out for free ahead of the holiday season. The union is not saying how many stores will be affected. Around 500 Starbucks stores are unionized, including several right here in the Bay Area. In a statement, the company says it's disappointed the union plans to strike instead of returning to the bargaining table.
Tesla shareholders face one of the biggest decisions in the company's history. Tomorrow, they will vote on a mega pay package for CEO Elon Musk. The board is offering him up to $878 billion in stock to ensure he stays to deliver on promises like self-driving robotaxis. This massive sum is tied to Tesla reaching an $8.5 trillion market value and would make Musk the world's first trillionaire. Some shareholders believe Musk is the only person who can deliver on Tesla's promises. Others say a publicly traded company's future should not depend on one executive. And the emerging field of AI is quickly becoming a staple of life. KTVU's Jesse Gary shows us San Jose city leaders are taking steps to ensure everyone has equal access and knowledge to use that tech.
AI for all, which puts us on the path to being the most AI literate city in the world.
One floor above the fray of the one-day AI Government Coalition Summit in San Jose, Mayor Matt Mahan and others announcing a collaborative effort to level the tech playing field.
We are in the midst of the biggest technological transformation since the internet, or maybe even the advent of electricity.
The lightning in a bottle leading this change is artificial intelligence. San Jose Mayor Matt Mahan on Wednesday announcing a new initiative with partners at Google, OpenAI, Anthropic, and the Bay Area Council that'll expand access to AI to everyone through the city's library system.
Through a digital platform, so online, there's a website that's going to have access to training resources from these three industry leaders. And then also, the really exciting part for us is to have classes in person in our San Jose libraries.
Library Director Jill Bourne says the conversion of space for in-person classes is underway.
It's certainly an idealistic vision. Why not? Should restrict access.
Officials say promoting AI learning as a cradle-to-grave exercise will allow a leveling of the tech divide, which sees some soaring to new heights, while many others flounder.
If we don't act, that gap will define the next decade of opportunity.
The job market is changing rapidly, yet the World Economic Forum reports that only half of workers have access to adequate training and training opportunities.
Officials envision people from all walks of life walking in or logging on, AI for all, to learn from scratch or improve their knowledge base, leading to certification and job potentials.
Sometimes it's hard to get a job when you don't have a certificate or a background of schooling or anything like that.
We cannot let AI be something that only a few people have access to.
Beta testing for online access is currently underway. Officials say in-person classes begin in 2026. In downtown San Jose, Jesse Gary, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
Coming up in KTVU Sports presented by Honda. Tonight, the Golden State Warriors out there on the road in Sacramento, but the team playing ball without three of its stars.
Then on the 11 o'clock news, dropping pounds and prices. The deal between pharmaceutical giants and the Trump administration that could make weight loss drugs more affordable.
The debate never ends on or not, like cleaning while you cook.
I am totally for it.
The 5-second rule.
I don't know what's wrong with that.
No.
Wearing socks with sandals?
If the kids are doing it, maybe.
Now you can watch Like It or Not whenever the mood strikes. Download KTVU's Fox Local TV app and tap into full episodes on demand.
Every day, over 1,000 accidents happen in California.
Well, should take my
Lives are
weed.
turned upside down.
I know
At
how much
Jacoby
spit
Myers,
out.
we provide calm when an accident causes chaos.
Put it
Call
out
Jacoby
there.
and Myers today
Oh, yeah,
at
that's it.
1-800-5-MILLION because you deserve justice.
It's the most Tony Award-winning show of
Pieces of
2024.
Put
Stereophonic.
the size 15 in your butt.
Now playing at the Current Theater through November 23rd. Tickets at BroadwaySF.com.
We love California, but we love Californians even more. 60 countries in one state and the music of 200 languages. At Covered California, we believe every single Californian deserves healthcare that works. So let us haggle. Let us cut through the confusion. We're not a health insurance company. We're in it for you. Because we are you. For the love of Californians. Covered California.
In life's most challenging moments, you need someone you can count on. At Jacoby & Myers, we're personal injury attorneys who've been helping Californians for over 50 years. If you've been injured, call us today at 1-800-5-million. Because you deserve justice.
You've been wiring pounds to a second wife in London?
It's not what it looks like.
And here she is now. Hello. Did you know our husband has been using a bank to wire you money?
Let's slow down.
I need to see it.
Well,
even your secret wife knows that banks are slow and high fees in overseas transfers.
Those cheaters.
If you want to send money overseas, use Wise. They're faster and they don't hide fees.
It's the betrayal that hurts the most.
Don't be an idiot. You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise.
Time now for a little sports. San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams inching closer to a on Sunday. It will be a playoff bye at Levi Stadium Sunday afternoon. KTVU sports reporter Bailey O'Carroll was at practice today, and she has reaction on the lack of moves at the trade deadline earlier this week.
Shows me the confidence we got today.
San Francisco 49ers front office didn't make a deal at the NFL trade deadline, despite the plethora of injuries the Niners have suffered up to this point.
There's a lot of teams with records like 6-3 or better that are making a big trade. They're not just because you make a big trade doesn't mean it's always a smart move. There's a lot of risk that goes into it, not just for this year, but throughout the whole future. I was excited we were able to make it one that we felt real good about last week and getting Keon. I know we looked into a ton of them, but the asking price was too much on all the ones.
Wednesday marked the first practice without rookie defensive lineman Michael Williams. Williams tore his ACL in the final minutes of the Niners game on Sunday against the New York Giants.
I talked to him yesterday. I said just making sure he was straight, his mental was good, and make sure he wasn't misreading the cover. Yeah, he's in good spirits. Obviously, it's probably win now, but he comes in the building, he has the same attitude every time. He's been doing it since he got hurt, so yeah, just making sure he's good.
Williams' injury is the latest addition to an already lengthy list for the Niners, one that includes star edge rusher Nick Bosa, who tore his right ACL, and all-pro linebacker Fred Warner, who broke and dislocated his right ankle. 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey said the injuries don't constitute more urgency from other players.
Sometimes guys can say people act like there's some level of urgency that has to come. And I really don't know. I feel there's always a high level of urgency in this game, whether or not you got all your guys or not.
San Francisco 49ers wide receiver Ricky Pearsall did not practice again today. He's missed the last 5 games with a knee injury. 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan said the injury is simply just taking longer to heal than they originally anticipated. At Levi Stadium, I'm Bailey O'Carroll, KTVU Fox News.
The Golden State Warriors on the road tonight, but they did not travel far to the Northern California matchup in Sacramento against the Kings. The Golden State's Will Richard getting his first NBA start tonight after the team is down 3 of its stars. Steph Curry out due to illness. Jimmy Butler is battling a lower back injury, and Draymond Green is out due to rib injury. All right, fourth quarter, Warriors down by 9, and Will Richard will drain a 3 to narrow the gap. He ended the night with 30 points. Less than 2 minutes to go. Warriors down by 8. Jonathan Kuminga in the paint. It's blocked, but he'll snag that rebound and shoots for 2. 55 seconds on the clock. Warriors still down by 6. But here comes Brandon Adamski with a 3. It's not enough, though. Sacramento takes this one. Final score, 121 to 116. Turnovers, a big problem tonight. Here's what head coach Steve Kerr had to say.
I thought the game changed with some turnovers mid-second quarter. Probably should have gone into halftime with a 12-point lead. Stayed as 5, I think. And we're trying to do too much. We're trying to create too much when there's nothing there. And in the end, the story of the game was the turnovers. You know, it's 30 to 11 points off turnovers. And it's a great lesson for our young guys, you know.
And it was a big night for the San Jose Sharks, who are on the road, taking on the Seattle Kraken. First period, right out of the gates. It's going to be Macklin celebrating, ripping it in, get San Jose on the board with just over a minute into the game. And then third period, Sharks up 3-1, and they're on fire. First up, it's going to be Will Smith. He'll get that puck past the defender for a goal. Shortly after, it's going to be Ty Dellandrea knocking in that shorthanded goal, and it'll just continue. Tyler Toffoli breaks away. He'll score one more. San Jose with his dominant 6-1 win, and they're back at home this Friday against the Winnipeg Jets. All right, that's going to do it for sports. The 11 o'clock news with Mike starts next.
Next at 11, the holiday season back at Union Square in San Francisco. The sights and sounds welcoming visitors as the shopping district experiences a rebound. Also, San Mateo County one step closer to selecting its next sheriff as the application window is now officially closed. The next step in the process tomorrow. Plus, the government shutdown extending to the skies as federal officials plan to reduce U.S. flights as a way to ease pressure on air traffic controllers.
11 o'clock news on KTVU Fox 2 starts now.
Flight reductions will affect at least 40 major airports around the country and could include those right here in the Bay Area. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mike Nieback. The cuts could start as soon as Friday, and it's all because of the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. President Trump criticized Senate Republicans this morning, telling them the shutdown cost the GOP votes in yesterday's election. The shutdown also causing issues in the skies as airports struggle with staffing. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says the FAA is working on ways to take the pressure off of airline employees.
There is going to be a 10% reduction in capacity at 40 of our locations. The administrator is going to tell you that this is data-based. This is not based on what airline travels, has more flights out of what location. This is about where is the pressure and how do we alleviate the pressure.
The FAA says the restrictions are needed to maintain air safety as controllers have been working unpaid since the start of the shutdown on October 1. Plus, sick calls and staffing shortages have also led to flight delays. All this happening as the nation gets ready to kick off the holiday travel season. KTVU's Tom Baker reports on how airports here and travelers are preparing for the reduction in flights.
Just in time for the holidays, Uncle Sam has ordered a 10% reduction in flights as long as the government is closed, plus bigger cuts as time drags on.
Like there would be long lines, and there would be flight delays, and like it is gonna be like crazy. It's gonna have a lot of passengers that are angry, a lot of frustrated passengers, a lot of lower money for United, American, all the hubs here at SFO. So I don't think it's a good idea. I guess we'll see if they actually go through with it.
At some airports, controller shortages resulting from sick or mental health call-ins have reached 80%. Some airports do have adequate staffs, but they cannot work at other airports without long training periods of local situations and equipment. So airlines servicing 40 major airports will be ordered to reduce flights, likely including SFO. Aviation attorney and pilot Mary Schiavo is a former Inspector General for the U.S. Department of Transportation and a leading expert on aviation.
So it'll be facilities that already have shortages, and I think it'll just go to the airlines. United Airlines, you're going to cut 10% of your flights out of
My nose running, baby.
American, you're going to cut
just left.
whatever 10% of your flights here and there.
Then the airlines will choose which flights go farther.
By slowing down traffic, by eliminating some traffic, yes, it's going to be a real hassle, and you're going to stand in long airport lines, but that is what's going to keep us safe through this mess.
The most exasperating thing about this is there's a fund of $20 billion that could take care of all of this. It's called the Aviation Trust Fund. It's funded under user fees tacked on the airline tickets, air cargo shipments, and frequent flyer programs. Though it's not a general tax, Congress controls it and often raises it for other uses.
Why do we allow the system paid for by the users to be held hostage by political pork barrels?
I think we're kind of used to it. It's in a bad way, right? We're used to a bad thing. It's kind of a norm.
Imagine if you already made your plan, bought your ticket, picked your seat, but only to find out that you've been canceled. It could happen. Tom Baker, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
United Airlines responded to the FAA directive saying that its long-haul international and hub-to-hub flights will not be affected by the schedule reduction. The airline says it's going to focus schedule reductions on regional and domestic flights that do not travel between its hubs. They also say that any customer traveling during this period will be eligible for a refund if they do not wish to fly, even if their flight is not affected. That includes non-refundable and basic economy tickets. New at 11, one of the largest Veterans Day parades in the Bay Area is going to look a little bit different this year, all because of the government shutdown. The United States Coast Guard will no longer participate in Petalula's event this coming Tuesday. They usually play a large role in the parade. Organizers say this is the first time this has happened. In the long-time tradition, volunteers in civilian clothing are now offering their help out. Steps to help enrollees and struggling families. Starting Monday, 4 social service offices will be distributing grocery store debit cards to the county's more than 100,000 CalFresh recipients. Those cards will carry a value similar to a family's existing benefit. This comes after the county board approved spending $21 million from emergency reserves yesterday to fund 1 month of benefits. Several Bay Area counties have enacted similar plans.
They never get it. Hell,
people's pockets, so they don't
have to think
or go to
weather fright.
to get food.
He's spitting on this.
The cards will be handed out at offices in Richmond, Hercules, Pleasantville, and Antioch. Free food boxes are also currently available at those very locations for anyone, regardless of CalFresh status. Tonight, San Mateo County Congressman Kevin Mullen hosting a digital town hall on the impact of the Trump administration policies on the Bay Area.
Yes, I'm coming.
General Rob Bonta was Mullen's guest. Now, right now, Bonta is in Washington, D.C., where he attended the U.S. Supreme Court arguments over tariffs. He discussed some of the 46 lawsuits that California has filed against the Trump administration, including the ongoing case over the deployment of national guard troops into Los Angeles.
We believe that there is a growing sense of skepticism from the courts about the deployment of the National Guard. She's now saying that you should deploy the National Guard for civilian law enforcement. Absolutely.
Bonta said that California is winning many cases, for example, bringing up $168 billion in funding that was already appropriated by Congress, including education dollars. He said that so far the Trump administration has been following court orders. A new survey published by the Public Policy Institute of California shows distrust of the state government. The majority of California surveyed, 54%, say they trust the California government. By a few big interests looking out for the benefit of everyone. Most distrust, 92%, Republicans compared to 46%. Potential partial tax to save Union from its $320 million budget. Chronicle there are 2 proposals right now under consideration. One would require property owners with homes under 3,000 square feet to pay a flat tax of $150 a year. Larger building owners would pay an additional 25 cents per square foot. That second proposal lowers the flat tax to $99 a year, with owners of the larger properties paying an extra 29 cents per square foot. The goal is to get a tax measure on next year's November ballot. Homeless advocates held a rally in San Francisco's Mission as the city's new RV legislation takes effect. The measure bans RVs and other large vehicles from parking in one place for more than 2 hours. Now, vehicles that overstay those limits are subject to fines or towing. RV residents and supporters said the new rules could punish those.
Chilling before I go to bed every night like a dream. I never know which song might reblow.
Give these families time to be able to, register the RV.
Running it, bro.
Give transparency on the process.
The city has issued 322 permits to RV dwellers to allow them time to get into permanent housing. So far, the city says it has cited 3 vehicles with no permits and towed 2 others. Advocates want the city to stop towing vehicles unless the person living in the RV has another housing option.
running it by. So stunning with my.
Police say 57-year-old Bashir Latifi was last seen just before 11 o'clock this morning near Carlton and Shattuck. He was wearing a dark navy blue puffy jacket,
cutting in the pit plot.
Carrying 2 small duffel bags.
Yeah,
He is
got
considered
flow.
at risk due to his physical condition and what police say is a diminished mental capacity. He's listed as 5'8" with a thin average build. Anyone who sees him is asked to contact Berkeley Police.
Dozens of children in one Bay Area city are using art to help save lives. We'll show you how.
Plus, next at 11, dropping the price on weight loss drugs. More on the Trump administration plan that could save some people some money.
Some rain today across parts of the Bay Area, and the wind
Funny, lit slide.
The wind advisory is allowed to expire. We're still talking about some clouds, though, in your Thursday forecast. We'll have the update coming up.
Running it by so stunning with my cutting the pit ply, funny, lit slide.
Life is full of surprises.
Spit. Fly.
That's why we're keeping your internet
Word.
the same with the 5-year price guarantee, only from Xfinity. Xfinity, imagine that.
The Jewelry Exchange. 1-carat diamond bracelets, $199. 14K lab diamond bracelets, necklaces, studs, custom, $499 per carat. Thousands of IGI lab diamonds guaranteed the lowest price by factory direct and save. The Jewelry Exchange, Brentwood City. Mornings on 2 traffic cameras.
Running it by. Stunning with my cutting the pit ply, funny, lit slide, spit fly, words, I vibe, birds, by, thirds, by, thirds. Even the title be lit. How you do that, Shot? With the title lit? The title lit, bruh? The title bars. Bars in my gamer channel. They got at least 10 albums over there. No lie, at least.
Yeah, when you hit the space bar, Mike, there you can see it here, one side that's showing 82 miles.
I'm carrying the flow now.
One side is still Mount Diablo 66 miles an hour. Most areas we run 42, but 50.
Trying to have back-to-back towers. Trying to have back-to-back towers. I was down for a couple days. Trying to have back-to-back towers. Keep running them off. It'll happen.
Look at Livermore, only 0.03, so that's not really a major rainfall, a major rain event in the entire Bay Area. Tonight, still the clouds in place, the possibility of a shower. Tomorrow, some fog in the morning, becoming partly sunny, and then the weekend outlook looks like a sun-cloud mix of these things to get outside this weekend. This was radar earlier today. We had some rain here in the Bay Area.
She got on her fan.
7,000 feet. There's a little bit of activity on the radar right now, right around the Napa area, so we are not completely dry. Still some lingering rain showers out there for tonight into early tomorrow morning. Still some coverage out toward parts of the coastline. Here's our live camera looking out
Oh, they
across
got
San
my
Francisco,
girl.
out toward the Golden Gate Bridge tonight. And current numbers mainly in the 50s.
Yeah, you thought I might be tucked in the bed, huh? Where was you at?
We're going to wake up to some clouds and
Thought I
some
might
fog
be
first thing
tucked in
tomorrow
the
morning.
bed, huh?
Temperatures in the 50s and maybe some drizzle will start things off tomorrow morning. Here's the setup, though. If you're heading to the coast, just be extra careful. We actually have a beach hazard alert in place once again with a building westerly swell and waves can be right around 12 to 20 feet. We also have this, a tidal flood advisory, so there could be a lot of run-up near the coastline. There's king tides in that swell, and the king tides at Golden Gate Bridge, the high tide, just before 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. So here's today's system. There's one upstream in the flow that will send in some more clouds by Thursday night, and the possibility of some rain showers primarily up in the North Bay. The main activity Thursday night will be up to our north, but we're going to have some clouds and maybe a sprinkle or two early Friday morning, but we're not talking about any major storms, at least for the next few days.
Drop a little food for thought. Music is universal.
60s and warmest locations right around 70 degrees. And here's a look ahead. We've got some drizzle first thing Friday morning. Weekend, a sun cloud mix. More clouds by Monday, and then beyond Monday, we could be bumping up some rain chances, especially by Wednesday.
Relax. That's gonna call. You sure you gonna order food? I'm almost getting sleepy. That chop. That chop nothing but my body.
The Trump administration may soon announce a deal with Eli
Like you float.
and Novo Nordisk. The two companies
Oh, she got the munchies, okay. The Shimoni.
They would lower the price of the drugs to as little as $100 a month. In exchange, Medicare would cover the drugs
you
for
too?
some people
You too.
enrolled in the program. Now, it's not clear if the lower price would apply to those
Let me
paying
put
for
this in
public
here.
or private insurance or for
This
those
is
paying
gonna be
cash.
something I say,
Announcement
man.
will be made as early as tomorrow. Tonight, a story about helping hospital patients and their families. Dozens of children are teaming up to paint hearts to benefit people being treated at Zuckerberg San Francisco Hospital. There's a chance you may have seen one of these hearts across the city. Watching out here in studio after visiting with young artists in their
Let me see if I can tell you. I'll put it all over here. Yes,
Excited to participate in this art project.
Put it in
They
here.
say they've learned about collaboration, community, and compassion.
Boo?
How's it going over there?
We'll have them all stinking, but that's okay. That's the point. You smell it out the bag. Because I had something on it, out the bag on it. I know you smell it out the bag, right?
Hospital's foundation. It helps the hospital provide services to
I know you
patients.
smell it. That's the Loud Pack OG gas. Do it for it.
That's what I want to do. I think it's really great that we get to help people who need more help. We have flowers here. We have the text with flowers in your hair written here on the heart.
Lauren Sharp is the founder of
I got 5 on it.
this arts program for kids.
No, not that, bro. Something else. You gotta have 50 on that. I got 100 on
To
it.
remind everybody to keep it peaceful, to keep it groovy, just like
Pay
in
that.
San Francisco culture and tradition. And these are the children of the Flower Children's children. So it's a legacy statement.
This heart will be
got 5 on it.
known as the Hearts of San Francisco, which has raised $39
Get one of them pokes going,
for the
girl.
hospital. Students say this project
What
is
you
a
eating
chance
on?
to show the world what young people can do.
I hope they can see how younger kids can make an impact on how the world changes.
The sculptures are displayed in public and private spaces in different parts of the Bay Area. When you bring art,
We got a ball over here.
it helps show what we can do.
Spiritual animals. They let you know I'm hella spiritual. Get your tail out the way. She's gonna put it back.
Project for us all to learn
Get your tail out the
about
way.
how art can save lives in hospitals and by raising money.
This heart and 20 others will be sold in January, but this is the only one designed and painted by children. The price for this tabletop size starts at $7,500. For more information on the project or how you can help, go to the Hospital Foundation's website. Mike?
It is a great project indeed. Amber Lee, live tonight here in studio. Amber, thank you for that. Next at 11, picking a new sheriff. The candidates to be the next top.
I gotta keep coming with shorts. Run to the front to make sure the engine's still running.
West Coast Rap, the mistakes the Los Angeles Police Department says it made in its response to the Palisades fire.
The hottest headlines. I have a Lulu and a Rafiki with your favorite morning crew. Join our weekly chat tomorrow on the 9 and 10.
Zooming around. Alright, back to the shorts. Which one is gonna belong?
60% of women experience leaks with bladder protection pads. Try Always Discreet.
For
It
sure.
has a unique core that converts liquid to gel and bunches 25% less often than poise. Try always
Shorts
discreet.
on
It's
deck.
designed to protect.
SHAKA shorts on deck.
We need to vaporize that sore throat. Vapor cool drops. It's sore throat relief with a rush of Vicks vapors. Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks vapor cool drops.
Everyone's gearing up for the holidays. The best friend. And the first timer. The neighborhood hero. And the out-of-towners. And it all comes together in Chevrolet.
It's Chevy Red Tag. Now well-qualified buyers can get 0% financing on all 2026 Silverado 1500 models. Plus, Costco executive members can get a 1215 members-only incentive.
After a huge new order was placed, we switched to AT&T Business Internet to keep up with the demand. We even brought on an intern to help. All right, clients are expecting delivery in a day. How's it going?
It's looking great, but they keep coming out upside down. Whoa, that's a lot to take in.
Hang in there.
Okay.
I think it's someone's nephew. He's okay. But the internet, great.
Live performance all the way home this season of Audi. Lease a new 2025 Audi A5 Premium for $499 a month during the season of Audi.
Noon 11, the application window to be the next sheriff of San Mateo County is officially closed. This comes after the County Board of Supervisors voted last week to appoint a replacement for ousted Sheriff Christina Corpus rather than hold a special election. The deadline to apply was noon time today. The board has already narrowed down the candidates to 7, each with a unique background in policing. Supervisors will hold a meeting tomorrow to interview the 7 and then select.
She over there watching it. She over there watching it.
Placed on administrative leave after trying to tackle an opposing player actually during a game. According to the Mercury News, Palo Alto High assistant football coach Jason Fong was seen on video trying to tackle a Sacred Heart player. This was after a play in the fourth quarter of last Saturday's game between the two schools. The incident happened after several Sacred Heart players tackled the Palo Alto High quarterback, who, by the way, is Fong's son, as he was going out of bounds. The game was suspended for nearly 10 minutes. Atherton police called to the campus and remained on scene for about an hour. Coach Jason Fong and several players were eventually ejected. The coach faces suspension for the remainder of the season. The parents of both players he made contact with, by the way, declined to press charges. Immigrants' rights organizations in Southern California now urging the Los Angeles Dodgers to decline an invitation from President Trump to visit the White House following their World Series win. The story does begin tonight's West Coast Wrap. President Trump congratulated the team on Truth Social, saying, "See you all at the White House." And a alliance of activist groups are now circulating a petition saying breaking tradition is a small price to pay to send a message.
It's time for Dodger baseball to give Los Angeles some extra innings of empathy by intentionally walking past the White House.
Do not shake the hand of the person who's causing all this suffering in our community.
And so far, the Dodgers have not commented on this campaign. The Los Angeles Police Department released a report identifying major shortcomings in its response to the devastating Palisades fire. This review cited breakdowns in communication, sloppy record-keeping, and poor coordination with the fire department as key issues. The agencies failed to establish a unified command structure despite working from the same post, leading to confusion about who was actually in charge. In Phoenix, police body cam video captured a tense moment as a suspect on the run crashed at Sky Harbor International Airport.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Roll over! Roll over! Is there somebody else in there? Okay, well, sit down! Try to help them.
So deputies arrived on the scene and helped rescue a passenger inside that vehicle as it caught fire. The driver was arrested, as we saw. The sheriff's office says the driver sped away from deputies making a DUI enforcement stop last weekend. Authorities say the pursuit was called off for safety reasons, but then moments later, the vehicle crashed into barriers at 90 miles per hour. Everyone is expected to survive their injuries. You can hear about the West Coast top stories every weekday right here on KTVU, West Coast Rap with Alex Abbott.
Oh shit, I'm getting sleepy, girl.
Or you can find around-the-clock
You know, I'm old,
coverage
it's this weather, it's just...
This is the place to be with the ice skating ring and the
about that
Christmas
work
tree
schedule,
and
that program.
Excitement for the holidays in San Francisco's Union Square. We're going to hear from those enjoying all that the area has to offer this time of year.
I found the civic poverty in Scotland, and it comes with a real bagpiper. Why are we passing the down payment?
You want me to buy a phone for a house with a bagpiper?
Uh-huh.
You're so dumb. Banks are slow and they hide fees and transfers and exchange rates.
Always send money overseas with Wise.
He's right. Wise is fast and never hides fees like banks.
Okay, use Wise, but isn't it great? It feels like you're at a funeral, but you're happy about it.
You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise.
In business, secure connectivity is critical. That's why Comcast Business helps turn your business into a reliably up and running, cyber-securing, data protecting, disruption-defying modern business. Stay connected and get threat ready with Comcast Business.
Switch today and get started with Internet Plus agreement for $59.99 a month for 12 months. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call for very much.
A car accident can shatter your world. But at Jacoby & Myers, we want to help you get back to where you were before. Advocating for you. Taking on insurance companies. Hospital bills. Medical care. Whatever you need to get back to the life you love. Jacoby & Myers has championed the hardworking people of California for over 50 years and won more than $2 billion in settlements. Jacoby & Myers, because everyone deserves style.
It became
I ain't been tooting nothing though. This is sick. I love this song. To be top dog. Kilograms of legal scams, busted chill, Desert Eagle jam. Kilograms of legal scams, busted chill, Desert Eagle jam. Hey, you threw that cigarette by me when I do it. Kilograms of legal scams, busted chill, Desert Eagle jam.
Holidays are in full swing here in Union Square. The outdoor ice skating opened up tonight, and many of the stores have those decorations already on display. As KTVU's Zach Sauce reports, the holiday season comes as the area is experiencing a revitalization.
18 years.
And with that, Union Square's themed rink welcoming skaters to the ice.
You're showing off the ball.
When I'm skating, I feel like I'm flying.
Perhaps no one more enthusiastic about the unofficial kickoff to San Francisco's holiday season than rink head Robert Keith.
When we started loading in the other day, you could just, the people that came and started poking their heads in and going, oh, the chillers out on the street again, they're coming, they're coming.
Crowds, he says, are already noticeably larger this year.
Look around, there's people walking around with shopping bags, there's people walking around with full bellies, people from all over the world that are coming in to San Francisco again.
The added foot traffic comes as a wave of new pop-up shops have entered the mix in the neighborhood this holiday season through the city's Vacant to Vibrant program.
I think they're a really good idea. I think it's great to revitalize downtown and get people back here, get people talking about Union Square again.
This month, the rotating holiday food market is scheduled to set up shop at 111 Powell Street, the space recently vacated by Uniqlo, and just up the block, Dandelion Chocolate, now in the middle of a 6-month lease through the program.
Business has been booming. I think we've exceeded expectations here.
In the shop, Navneet driving in from Napa for the day to peruse the shelves and soak up the area's holiday spirit.
This is the place to be with the ice skating ring and the Christmas tree and shopping.
At Macy's, work is putting the final touches on the store's wreaths and displays just a day after the mayor delivered this welcome news.
Big news here at Union Square. Macy's and our local developer are committed to reimagining this space behind me, but they aren't going anywhere.
And a fair change of heart for the department store that just a year ago announced plans to shut it in its historic Union Square location.
Macy's is saying they're in it for the long haul. That makes me really happy. This is an iconic location here in San Francisco. Why not try
try to reimagine it and meet the moment and do something there that everyone wants to see.
And what exactly are those plans that Macy's will look like still unclear, but certainly one more piece of good news as we kick off the holiday season here at Union Square. In San Francisco, Zach Top, KTVU, Fox News. This morning's wind and rain in San Francisco did not stop the arrival of some holiday spirit there in the city. Preparations for the season began at Pier 39 with the arrival of a 60-foot Christmas tree. The white bird came from the slopes of Bernie Mountain in Shasta County and weighs more than 6 tons. Tomorrow, people will start decorating the tree with lights and more than 500 ornaments. As the U.S. Postal Service is hiring right here in the Bay Area for the busy holiday season, the USPS says there are more than 400 openings, and they're holding a series of job fairs across the Bay Area. The first one is in San Jose. That's going to take place next Wednesday, followed by fairs in San Mateo, Palo Alto, San Rafael, San Francisco, and Menlo Park.
I'm all fuzzy because I got in the shower. That's what it is. Clean up, shower. All fuzzy. Fuzzy lumpkin. That's what the Powder Puff Girls was. Well, Fuzzy Lumpkin. I got nicknames. We talk funny out here.
Download the Fox Local app for all of us here at KTVU.
Ebonics.
Thanks for watching and have an amazing night.
Slogan, the jargon.
Welcome to Battleground, the fight for your vote. It's Wednesday, November 5th. It's the day after the election.
Hardest course.
Zohran Mamdani is the next mayor of New York City. And so now the
hard course.
It's no longer about
hard hook
who will be mayor, but about how he will govern and deliver on those promises that he made to the people of New York. Later in today's show, we're going to talk to a former congressman about his take on the results and other races of the night, and then the impact that they have on national politics. But first, of course, let's get to the very latest news. And joining me now is Craig Book, the City Hall bureau chief for the New York Post. Welcome, Craig, back to the show on the day after.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I know we're all a little tired. I was up late covering this. You were up late covering
Recipe
this. But it's over. It's over.
Of a boulevard cook.
After this very long, sometimes weird, but always fascinating race for mayor. If you could sum it up, how would you?
Chaotic and dizzying. I mean, and as of now, it's everybody's saying, "Oh, wait for the election and then it'll be nice." It's like, no, now is transition. They have to appoint people to all the positions, I mean, already this morning, the F.O.I commissioner has tendered his resignation for next month. So we know there's going to be so many positions that need to be appointed and people that are advising. So, I mean, really, like the work just starts for the mayor, but it's going to just start for the press now, too.
Yeah, you're right. There's going to be so much to cover now, and it's going to be so many firsts. And it's going to be really interesting. There are going to be so many storylines. I know another one that I'm going to have to cover, I'm sure, will be what I believe the Trump Mamdani reality show that is about to air starting this week, next week. I mean, I think Trump has been like itching for Mamdani to win for this reason, so he can start making him a useful foil, a punching bag. And I think that's going to be a huge storyline, too, that, you know, I don't know the voters of New York City,
be on all this?
You know, voted for, but they got it. They got it with Zohran Mamdani, didn't they?
Hard hook to where most my car book recipes of a boulevard cook, garden yard took, really gnarly look, yeah, really gnarly look, really gnarly look, yeah, really gnarly look.
And vice versa. So,
Won't never catch me in no leotard.
Listen, the Republican Party, not just Donald Trump,
I send mine to the yard, high regards.
Democratic Party, the establishment, Jeffries,
Wallace D. Farrell.
Those guys are trying to not have that happen, but this is a storyline that's going to get fed when it comes to the Republicans
love all by war.
Democrats going against each other in not only the House races next year, but a very big gubernatorial race in New York State.
In New York.
I keep my gaze upward toward
What did you make of Mamdani's
moving forward.
speech last night, his acceptance speech?
Need more food in the
I was
cupboard.
back at first of the jabs at Cuomo, but then realizing afterwards he hadn't even called him to concede the race.
Why the black? That's beautiful. They want to smother all.
I thought it was a very defiant. I think he came out and
Hold on,
listen,
discover.
always know he got 50.35% of the vote. So he believes he has a mandate, and he came out there saying
You do not look for another.
it was the first city that would be powered by immigrants, built by immigrants, and now run by an immigrant, in a clear shot at Donald Trump.
I think you're right. There were shots at
Keep my
Cuomo,
Sally
shots at Trump.
Astro
It was a lot more defiant than I think some people expected. Some people expected, you won handily, maybe a little gracious, but you're right. Cuomo did not, from what we know, even call to concede.
Even won handily, I will kind of push back a little bit. It is kind of unprecedented that somebody on a third party line, a ballot line that no one's ever heard of, that you had to dig through on a ballot that was filled with 10 other candidates, or 10 other lines, that he got 43% of the vote is pretty incredible. So, yes, he has a mandate because he got over 50%, but there's still a big portion of the city that did not vote for him.
One of those voting blocks were Jewish voters. They went 2-1 for Andrew Cuomo. That's a big problem for Zoran Mamdani. Maybe he doesn't see it that way, but I know New York and I know New York Jewish voters. That could be a big problem for him. How would you think he's interpreting those numbers in the exit polls today?
There's two different things that are going on currently in the city, right? They're trying, it's the old guard of the voter blocks, right? Like the black and the Jewish voting block right now is showing that
Yes, little mama. I'll be with you in a second. What you want?
Handily won this election, I believe, maybe 10, 15 years ago.
You want the pulse back, baby?
The city. Eric Adams even showed us
That's
4
fucking
years
right.
ago where he was in South Asian communities, Muslim communities, going to these mosques, doing this.
Getting hungry.
Except he is
With a chop,
from India,
a
from
little
South
chop.
Africa, a Muslim. I think
I roll another one. I'm blank.
They're much more conservative. So I think it's this new.
I'm gonna just be like
voter blocks, like the old guard of the candidates,
eating cookies and like half sleep, half woke.
50.4 or 50.3%, wherever it really shakes out.
We got
I don't know if you
ramen
can call
though.
that a mandate.
Oh, baby,
is that a mandate?
I mean, listen, he went into this
I
election.
got my tummy warmed up with some like real food now, like soul food.
I know people are going to
Don't
say
knock
that
it over.
have a mandate. I mean, he's going to argue this because majority, but again, I will keep pointing to the fact that it is unheard of.
The other cat's sleepy.
A third-party candidate gets
I hit that hour. Okay.
Okay, Craig, I've got more questions for you.
Just gotta go check something in front and probably drop one more. How many shorts are there? Okay, this the.
We are grocery outlet and we are your bargain basement market. What's bargain for it? You know that feeling when you find the name brands you love but for way, way less? That's bargain for it. Now save even more with grocery outlet's 20% off wine sale. Now through November 11th, we have hundreds of wines, stores, and galleries. So act now because this deal won't last long. Stop in and save today at Grocery Outlet, your extreme value holiday headquarters.
Oh, you turkey, huh? Okay. Stay over here listening. They be feeling it.
Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com.
I know y'all be feeling it.
Don't miss.
You like snort your nose too hard in that
Do you
run.
have old doors that are dating
Scary
your home?
ass.
One-day doors and closets can transform your entire home by installing
So you gotta
designer
make sure I got it
interior doors
right.
in just one day with no messy construction. We use advanced 3D technology to custom make and paint new doors to fit your existing door frame.
Schedule your free consultation today to receive our buy one door, get one door free special. That's buy one door, get one free. Plus, installation is free. So schedule your free consultation today.
We're back with Battleground NYC, the fight for your vote. Let's get back to more news from the race with Craig McCarthy. You're a chief of the New York Post. Craig, this race made a lot of history in all the ways, right? Zoran Mamdani is the first Muslim mayor, the first South Asian mayor, the biggest mayor in over centuries, but also in terms of who voted and who turned out. Record numbers of people turned out. And according to Politico, more people voted for mayor than in any race since 1969. How significant is that?
She hit the button to stop it, so I'm going to leave it at that.
We saw this coming with the early turnout, more than 70 or 30,000 or something.
Started getting itchy. You know you sleeping in. Put on some lotion and you really going to drop.
It was a competitive three-way race for the general election. What's even more incredible about that is that in 1969, there were 3 million people registered to vote. And there was 2.4 million votes. Right now, there are more than 5 million people registered to vote, and only 2.1 came out to vote. We haven't got the full final count yet. Yeah. I mean, it's historic. Let's not take away from that, but I think, like, even going, taking aside everything, is that Mamdani did, whether you like him or you hate him, there was a lot of protest votes, and there was a lot of get people to vote for him. So they brought out a lot of people.
Let's talk about city council. Because, the mayor's going to have to work with city council very, very closely. And so before we get to whether Mamdani can do that, talk about some of the wins and losses over there. Anything surprising?
I mean, Christine Marmorato losing up in the Bronx, it wasn't a complete shock. I mean, she was the first GOP member to win a seat in the Bronx for some 50 years. So it wasn't surprising that hit back. The rest of everything kind of held, strong with what we expected. Justin Brannon's staffer took his seat, so it saved blue. Bob Holden had 2 of his staffers running against each other on the Democrat and the Republican line. So really the makeup didn't change that much. I think the question now is going to be who's going to be the next one.
Sure. And before we know who that is the city council stacking up to be one that you think
mess with my little kid
for Mamdani, or will they get in his way?
I mean, as of now, the Progressive, which is a progressive bloc, which is the caucus, is about 17 members. They haven't been able to coalesce around one person. They've been fracking votes into certain ways, and the question is going to become, like, do you want somebody that works with City Hall, or do you want to see somebody as a check and balance to Zoran Mamdani? And they're trying to figure that out right now. And I think if you look back 4 years ago, when Eric Adams tried to put his finger on the scale, it set the tone with the council for the entire tenure of his first term. And so I don't know if Zoran Mamdani wants to do that, but he's been awfully open about being out there campaigning with Kristen Hudson, who has put her name out as one of the top people for council people.
Interesting. He'll also have to work with Albany. Have you heard anything from the governor's office about this race?
I mean, the governor endorsed Zoran Mamdani, so you would expect her to put kind words out. She's going to support him. But the question is going to be, what can you do going into an election year? She can't raise taxes and then run against Lee Stefanik, or if she will, she'll have a very hard general election next year. So I think Albany wants to work with him. They want to see his brand of, I guess, this new wave of politics. They don't want to run away from that. But I don't know what more meets the road in the next session, how close they're going to get.
So I was over at Fox 5 earlier this morning for a hit, and all anyone was talking about was Jessica Tisch, who is the NYPD police chief. And Zoran Mamdani has said he will keep her, which I think assuaged some fears that, he's going to clean house at police. But she hasn't said whether she'll stay on, and if she will stay on, for how long. And everyone wanted to know how long will she stay on, and for how long will she stick around for this, because that would be a huge, huge change for the city and a huge headache for him. Anything you can tell us there?
Well, I think right now we know that no formal offer has been given to her. There's been a conversation of let's start having an election. I think that's what's going on right now. I think talked about this prior, you and me, that this is Democratic Party wants to be a big tent. Either of those are holding either side of that tent up. I mean, they are the farthest possible away on so many issues when it comes to Albany bail reform, raise the age, any of the criminal justice reforms from 2019. I mean, Justice Tisch has been asked to stay on, from what I understand, from Governor, from Hakeem Jeffries, from all these other people that are trying to make sure that the city stays.
We out, y'all.
Listen,